I immigrated to Taiwan about 3 years ago from Hong Kong. I used to teach design at the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and I'm also a contemporary artist. I do like public arts, I do protest art. I mean arts that is related to political subjects. So back, let's say 2019, I used to like cosplay and then go to the protest sites and then protest, as well as doing artwork at the same time. And then later on, I find my name on the Chinese Communist newspaper in Hong Kong. And then I realized that it's a matter of time they're gonna catch up with me. So I retreated from Hong Kong to Taiwan with my wife and my cat. And now I live in Taichung.
What's your take on Taiwan? 3 years in Taiwan. What are your thoughts or feelings about the country and the people and your move?
I think with my time, about 3 years in Taiwan have changed a lot. I still remember when I first arrived in Taiwan 3 years ago, I did interview some Taiwanese youngsters who have served in the military and ask them about vanguarding Taiwan's independence. And then they say something like, oh yeah, if Chinese Communist Party invade Taiwan, we'll defend Taiwan maybe for 2 days and then we'll surrender. I was shocked. I was shocked because when I was thinking about coming to Taiwan to join the forces to vanguard Taiwan, to deter Chinese Communist Party, since the resistance in Hong Kong is no longer. So when they say things like this, I feel so disappointed. And then Nancy Pelosi came to Taiwan to visit, and then Chinese Communist Party shot the missiles above our head. At that time, I was very scared. I never got shot at by missiles before. I mean, in Hong Kong we have typhoon, we don't have earthquake, but missiles, this is crazy. So I decided to start studying about the possibility of going into war with mainland China. And after that, I start to train with the Taiwan local self-help militia group, which teaches you how to do first aid, pack your bug-out bags, and physical training, that kind of thing. And I go to classes and try to learn about if there's a war, how would it unfold. I think this is very important. And then I realized a lot of the fear comes from not knowing what would happen. But once you know how it would unfold, then no more fear, because you know what to do. Like the recent earthquake, right? If there's an earthquake, recently we just witnessed a 7.2 Richter scale earthquake. And if you are trained, then when the earthquake comes, you just hide underneath the table. And that is not fearful, because you have something to hold on to. So I think ever since Nancy Pelosi's visit, the country have changed quite a lot, I've witnessed. And for example, the military have changed their draft from 4 months to a full year. I've seen the Americans have been planting missiles in Okinawa, and then all those weapons that was not sold to Taiwan now is being sold to Taiwan to help Taiwan to defend itself, which is, in my opinion, is very good. Because in the past, that during Kuomintang, which is one of the political party in the past, during Kuomintang's control of Taiwan, they are conditioning the people to have a low self-esteem, in my opinion. So they kind of like look down at themselves, and then Taiwan is kind of isolated in the international community. Like we lost our place in the UN, for example. And so that after a while, after 1 or 2 decades, the people in here just kind of like having a feeling of helplessness, having a feeling of being abandoned, having a feeling of uselessness, even if you resist. But I think we Hong Kongers have shown them otherwise. If you look at the resistance in the 2019 uprising, we don't have an army, we don't have guns, and all we have is some bricks and Molotov cocktail, which always missed. But we still charge up to fight against this kind of suppression, this authoritarian government. Not one or two people, we're talking about 2 million of us with our bare body. So I think in that sense we demonstrate to civic society when your government have forsaken you, betray you, what is the duty of a civilian in a civic society when everything is collapsing. So I'm very glad to see Taiwan is picking up comparing to 3 years ago when I first arrived. And for example, like today, we are in this pro-Taiwan independence concert. And a lot of youngsters, people who support the concert as well as support the Taiwan independence movement. But you have to understand the Taiwan's independence movement comparing to the 60s or 80s, for example, is different than the movement now. In the 80s, when the Taiwanese was advocating Taiwan independence, they actually under the kind of martial laws of the Kuomintang. So for them, Taiwan independence represent democracy and liberty, and that's it. I think in 2024, when we're advocating Taiwan independence, it actually represent a role for Taiwan in the international community, in the UN, as well as in the NATO. So I think it's a bit different.
So I gather you're optimistic
In what sense?
About Taiwan's future.
Oh yeah, I think right now is the best of time for Taiwan. It's the best of time of Taiwan because it is not from within, right? Like, it's from outside. Sometimes I feel like a lot of foreign countries care much more than Taiwan than the people in Taiwan. Right? It's like we all want to help Ukraine, and then you realize some Ukrainians are running away. This kind of similar situation. So I think it's a good thing because when you have a lot of foreign support, that means your path to independence are easier. I mean, if everybody are advocating for Taiwan independence, but international community don't care about your life and death, then it's still very dark.